You've probably heard that heavy strings give you better tone, and I'm here to tell you that's absolutely true, and today I'm going to prove it. But first, I want to talk about... Hold on. Hello? Yeah, this is him. Yeah, I know who Billy Gibbons is. 8 gauge. Wow. So he used 8 gauge strings and still had fat tone. I've literally never heard that before. Huh. BB King too. I have to make a brand new video. Thank you for telling me this thing that no one has ever said to me before on the internet. This is the first in a 2-part video series about light versus heavy gauge strings, Jimi Hendrix, and tone. My name's Anthony Stauffer. I'm the owner of Texas Blues Alley, and I'm proposing today that one of the biggest contributing factors to Jimi Hendrix's tone was not just his guitars, his amps, or his pedals, but the fact that he used ridiculously light gauges for his bottom 3 strings. What I'm going to try and prove over the next 2 videos is that this approach actually makes it possible to have fatter tone across the guitar. In this first video, I'm just going to do a bunch of playing comparisons between different sets of strings, but in the next video, I'm going to go into the science behind what you're hearing. I recently finished up a 6-month process where I produced a course called Little Wing Deep Dive. It is a 10-hour exploration of the theory, the chords, the embellishments, and the soloing that go into the song Little Wing, mostly inspired by Jimmy's original recording of it. But during the research process, I spent a lot of time with my headphones on dissecting different chord embellishments and trying to learn which notes he was holding, what string could those notes be on. And so I had Jimmy's tone like right in my ears for hours on end. And then when I went to try and record those to teach them, I realized my bass notes on my guitar do not sound like his. And so that got me started on thinking about why Jimmy sounded the way that he did. So that brings me to these tests. Basically, I have gotten together 4 sets of strings, and I'll put the gauges up on the screen now. You'll see that the top 3 strings are the same. I just left those on the whole time, and I just swapped out the bottom 3 strings. These were all nickel wound strings from the same manufacturer, and so we're going from a heavy to a medium to a light to an extra light. Now for the tone, I'm just plugged directly into my Kemper. I recorded through a Michael Britt profile of a 1968 Plexi into a 212 switchback cabinet. I wanted a nice balanced tone so you can clearly hear the differences between the strings. So now we're going to get to the demos, and I'm going to stop talking until the very end. You're just going to hear me cut and slice these demos a bunch of different ways so that you can hear a comparison. And then at the very end, I will give you some final thoughts and set up the next video in this series. So now that you've heard all of those demos, I'm going to point out a few things that you should have heard. Number one, you should have heard the low end thin out as we went from heavier to lighter strings. You probably also noticed that the high end, the brilliance of the low strings, increased as the strings got lighter. So you might be wondering, why am I trying to make the point that lighter strings can give you fatter tone? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in the next video in this series, because all we've done so far is an A-B comparison of the strings, but that's not the whole story. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about why the differences you heard in this video set up the possibility of having fatter tone for everything. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I did just finish a gigantic, monstrous course on the song Little Wing. This is aimed at late beginner to early intermediate players who are still expanding their chord vocabulary. But honestly, I've been playing for 20 plus 30 years at this point, and I needed what's in this course because I didn't really understand Little Wing. I've put out lots of videos about the course so far, so you can find out more at texasbluesalley.com/littlewing. But I promise you this, if you love the song and you want to understand how to play it better and actually understand what you're doing, this is a course for you. So check it out, and I will see you in the second video of this series. I can't wait, and I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next time.